Okay, so you're welcome. This is a tutorial on how to get started on POSPro. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the basics to understand when get started and what this app actually does. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna log into this demo account right here. You guys have to bear with me a little bit because my internet is kind of slow this evening. Okay, that's oh man, I think I made a mistake right there, so I'm just gonna reset that. Crosswalk. Sometimes I really hate this. Okay, so when you log in for the first time, this is exactly what you're gonna be seeing. It's a new account, it's a fresh account, so everything is blank as it is. It's gonna be blank. This is a demo account, so uh, I've actually been using this to test run some of the features of this app. So here's your available cash. Of course, every POS has cash available. If a POS business has cash available, this is a tutorial with today's revenue for today, weekly revenue, monthly revenue. It's just some basic stuff. So this is pretty straightforward. So now here's what we're gonna be needing to understand. First place I'm going to go to is POS units right here. So this your POS units are basically your locations, different locations of where you have your POS businesses. For example, if you have multiple POS units, which is POS business centers, if you just add them up here and monitor the various business centers simultaneously. So when creating an account, it automatically creates a POS unit for you because there must be a default POS unit at every point in time. So this is the default POS unit of this account. I actually edited the name to this, so we could do that too. Okay, let me just create another one so you can understand. Okay, let's say okay. For example, and just say okay, I'm not going to set that default, and that's it. So okay, unit created. So that's it. We created that unit. Now the default is still set. Oh, did I just set that as oh man, I think that's an error though. This should okay. Creating a unit. Okay, well, creating a unit sets that as default automatically, which is I guess so. Okay. So you could just set that so it's a default. You just come here and set that one as a default. So I'm just gonna set that one as a default and use that. So okay. So now we have that. So the next thing we're gonna be talking about is POS machines. Like you all know, every POS business center has a POS machine or multiple POS machines, for example. Either you can have Money Point, for example, OP. These are different POS machines you can use at one POS unit. So that's what we're going to be doing now. So I'm just going to create one. So here's the thing. Remember, we set a unit as the default. So whatever we're going to be doing from now on is going to be based on that unit. So now I'm creating POS machine. It's for that unit right there. So I just created that, and let's see, let's create another one. For example, say money point. I just say that. So now we have this OPay machine and OPay POS machine and money point POS machine. So the next thing we're gonna be talking about now is staffs. So for if you have multiple POS units, definitely you have different staff managing those POS units for you. That's where this comes in. You can create staff and assign them to a POS unit. So let's create a demo staff now. Then you just say we'll say okay, this is just gonna be the demo. This can be using this email because it's a mistake. So I'm just gonna use this. Definitely this is gonna be your staff's email, of course. So I'm just gonna say let me just use that. So I'm just gonna be using that one. Yeah. So now I'm gonna pick a unit for it. See, these are the two units I have. So I'm gonna pick a unit that this account is going to manage. So I'm just gonna say, let's say, okay, pick that one and we'll save. And voila, that's it. We have that. So this user can log in with these credentials right there and be able to manage that unit. Yeah, of course you can assign more than one staff to a unit. So that's it. That's basically it. So the next thing and the most important section of this application is your transactions. So basically your transactions is how you're going to be stating what happens, what leaves, what comes in to the account. So this app was created with the notion that most POS businesses actually have to write their transactions by hand manually, and they do their calculations by themselves after or maybe later the day or whenever. So this app actually eliminates you having to do those calculations manually. So all you have to do, instead of writing your transactions down, you put them there and it does the rest for you, gives you analysis and all that. So let's go. This is supposed to be a short tutorial, so let's hurry up with this. So for start, we created POS machines. We created POS machines. We created POS units. We created POS machine default, which is this POS unit. So we have two POS machines. So here's the thing. On that transaction, I'm going to, since this is a new account and I actually want to start monitoring my affairs using POSPro, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to state cash. So any transaction type you select, it's going to give you an info about what exactly that transaction type does. So it's going to give you a short, brief explanation of what you're doing. So I'm going to be entering cash. So what I'm going to be entering here is going to be what I have on ground, the cash I have available for that POS unit. So I'm just going to say something 60,000. Did it cost you? Did you buy cash? State that too. If you didn't, I'm just going to say I didn't. Okay, just to check, confirm everything's correct, just click that. That's it. So now go to dashboard, see available cash 60,000. Yeah. So just the way you did that, we're gonna state that okay, we have an inward transaction. Inward transfer, which is a transfer. It's a transaction where money comes into any of the POS machines. So that's what we're gonna be doing because we're starting a fresh account. This is a fresh account, so we're gonna be doing all that initially. So I'm just gonna say okay, I have 60,000 in open POS machine. Then create another one and say your transaction. Okay, let's say 100,000 for money point. Okay. Okay. So now we have that. So we have everything set. You as the admin just need to specify what you have on your POS accounts or POS machines and what you have on ground as cash, available cash. So to start with, so here you can, now I'm just going to show you, explain, try to explain the different types of transactions. So already we know cash. Cash is when you're adding cash to the system. Transfer out is when you're actually doing a transfer for a customer. This is assuming a customer brings in cash and wants you to transfer that funds to somebody else. That's when you use this. Okay, then go withdraw. This is your typical withdraw, debit card, whatever, from the machine. State the amount, state how much profit you had from it. Profit in cash. Was the profit given to you in cash or not? Usually it's not in cash, but if it's in cash, you state that. So and you select whatever POS machine you're using. That's it. It's pretty simple. Add it just the way you'd write normally. So that's what withdrawal. We have POS transferring, same thing as withdrawal. Here there's actually always a bit of information about what you're doing here. And POS transferring, same thing as withdrawal, amount, profit in cash. It is, that is, for some reason, state that and select the POS machine. Utilities, talking about airtime, data, electricity bills, cable bills, and all that. State amount, state whatever. Typically, bringing money and so that's basically what all this does. Inward transfer is you're transferring, like we use to state that this money came into the machines. So transfer out. Outward transfer, it's when you, for some reason maybe you want to actually use some money from the POS or from whatever POS machine. You state that okay, this is the amount I transfer out. So the reason for stating all this is so it kind of tallies with, like, every transaction you're doing is stated, so you know exactly what you're doing, what you're using, how you're using. The system can be able to analyze your data, tell you what's going on. So that's it. On this admin withdraw, this is just basically maybe for some reason some admins could just come, okay, it could be 2,000 for example, and the staff needs to state that okay, this is amount admin collected. So that's basically it. That's basically it. Okay, so that's it. That's all for that. This is just a quick explanation, so you could cool thing about POSPro is that there's a free 1 month trial period where you can actually try the app, get to understand the app, how the app works, and all that. You know, then after everything, you could actually come here and reset the account. So if you reset the account means everything goes back to normal. You know, you can wipe off everything and restart the account from fresh when you understood the app. So anyway, let's go back to transaction. There's something I need to show you guys. Okay, so you could actually edit the transaction. I could say, okay, it wasn't 150, it was 100, it was 150, right? Okay, so but the thing is that when you create a transaction, there's only so little you can do when editing a transaction. You can change the amount and change whatever POS machine you're going to, but the type you can change. So if for some reason, okay, let me do this. Let's say I mistakenly did cash on did this transaction, created it. Now if you check here, our available cash is 110, which is what's would also be here, 110. So under transactions, it's always shown here. So now we have 110, and if this was a mistake and you wanted to edit and you see that, okay, you can't actually edit the transaction type and maybe this was a withdrawal or something, you can actually backtrack if you're still on that day. So you can actually backtrack. So backtrack and you just delete this and that's it. See, available cash goes back to 60,000. So that's it, just like erasing. But you can only erase, you can only clear transaction for that day. Okay, so that's it. So the last thing I'm going to be doing is just like I'm just going to create some transactions so you can understand how it works. So I'm just going to say, okay, if you say my game withdraw 5,000, say profit is 200. Was this profit given in cash? No, let's say it wasn't. So for this now, you give the client 5,000. You give the client 5,000. Then 5,200 actually comes into the pay. Let's say, okay, it was for pay, for example. It goes to pay. So that's it. Withdraw for 5,000. Stay there. So we go to POS machine now. You see, we have 65,400, which is what came. So yeah, the app doesn't actually take into consideration your transfer charges, so you would have to, what your transfer charges are. So then you remove it, but the app actually does an estimated withdrawal charges and transfer charges too. So you could use that as a yardstick to understand what's going on. So here it's just a transaction summary. Total cash transaction, one transaction, just like that. Estimated withdrawal charges, available cash, total profit for today. Everything is saying this is the day, this current day. You could backtrack, set it for a different day, but default is for that day. Yeah. So it's gonna show for that day. Yeah. So as you can see, that's it. That's how to create other transactions. Just basically just the same thing. You can just do that and see entering different transactions. The app does all the calculations for you, and as you can see, and you have some data, so you have all that. You enter your data, system starts to analyze and map out the revenue and all that. So and that's basically the app in a nutshell. I know I didn't talk about everything, but this is just the basics. You have just look at the app. You just have to use the app for a while to actually understand what the app does. And you can actually export this right here. Click on this, it exports your data to CSV. View the CSV and do whatever you need to do with it. So that's it. So the idea of this application is, I'm just gonna wipe this now, reset this. So after everything, you could just clear the account when you're acquainted with the application, you understand the application, how it works and all that, and you want to start using the application for real, just come here, clear your data, and everything goes back to square one. You can start all over again. And so if you have multiple PS units and you have different staff, entering of the data would actually have to be by those staffs and all that. So all you have to do is just come here, select the PS units, and and they clear those units. So if you want to clear units, you just have to go here and delete the units. There's always going to be one unit because it must be a default unit. Okay, so you just have to go to a unit, select the units, go to different transactions and see what's happening on that day. Even if you're not there, you don't have to be at the location at any point in time to be able to see what's going on. So that's basically what the app was meant for. So if you were doing calculations by hand, this now does that for you. It calculates your profit for every day, single day, calculates for the month, calculates for the, gives you a breakdown for the week, month revenue, today's revenue, and all that. For transactions, you could come to a specific date and select the date and see different transactions for that day, and you can export if you want to. You can take it all. This just tells you some of the things, how to use the application. So that's pretty much it. I know this isn't the whole thing, but you just have to use the application to understand what some of the other features the app has. And the app is basically new, so expect a lot more features soon.